first job was tour managing Muddy Waters, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Blind Gary Davis, who I gathered was inducted into the Hall of Fame here just the other night. And, you know, it was an incredible first job out of college. You know, I was very lucky. And George Wein, I was working for George Wein, the promoter, and he liked the job I did with tour managing jazz musicians and things like that. And he said he never liked paying for airfares. He was a bit parsimonious, George. But he said, if you happen to be back in America and around the East Coast next summer, come on up to Newport and you can be the production manager. And so I was the production manager on the Newport Jazz Festivals in 1965 and the Newport Folk Festival in 1965. And, you know, it was a very intense, extraordinary time because in that moment, everybody was astounded that for the first time there was like a 6-minute long single getting played on Top 40 radio by Bob Dylan called Like a Rolling Stone. And also on Top 40 radio was Mr. Tambourine Man by the Byrds. And people just couldn't stop talking about, will he dare? Would he bring an electric guitar to Newport, to the folk festival? No, he wouldn't do that, would he? And this was the talk, the whole weeks leading up to the folk festival. So you knew that this, whatever happened, was momentous. And so as it happened, we sound-checked him with the Butterfield Band, and we made sure, I went out and bought a pink Day-Glo magic marker, because Paul Rothschild was actually doing the sound. I was up on stage. He was at the sound controls. And he had a piece of paper on a clipboard for every artist. We sound-checked everybody. We wanted to make sure the sound was really good. But for Dylan, we didn't have a piece of paper. We had those pink glow-in-the-dark marks on the stage for every amp, on the amp for the setting. And so the minute he hit the first stroke of Maggie's Farm, it was loud. And I later came to slightly, I wouldn't say regret, you know, I was youthful. I was like, yeah, old guard, get a step back, this is what's happening. And later I sort of saw Pete Seeger's point that this was a beautiful acoustic thing, this festival. And Bob Dylan and his electric guitar brought the music business a career move, a top 40 move into this hallowed ground. And I totally understand Pete Seeger's heartbreak about that.
You mentioned the Butterfield Band. Were you not responsible for bringing Mike Bloomfield to the Butterfield Band?
Track 1, side 2, which I recorded with Kimberly Rue. And it goes like this. So this is the Sid Barrett's hit, which I think I don't think it really helped him in the end. Doesn't sound like this either, but
Emily tries but misunderstands. She's often inclined to borrow somebody's dreams till tomorrow. There is no other day. Let's try it another way. You'll lose your mind and play free games for me. See Emily play. Soon after dark, Emily cries, gazing through trees in sorrow, hardly a sound till tomorrow. There is no other day. Let's try it another way. You'll lose your mind and play free games for me. See Emily play.
the only American song on the record, which wasn't intentional to keep it that way, but it was a hit, written by John Phillips, the Wolf King of LA, but recorded by Scott McKenzie. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. If you're going to San Francisco, you're gonna meet some gentle people there. For those who come to San Francisco, summertime will be loving there. In the streets of San Francisco, gentle people with flowers in their hair. All across the nation, there's such a strange vibration. People in motion, in motion. There's a whole generation with a new explanation. People in motion, people in motion. For those who come to San Francisco, summertime will be a loving there. In the streets of San Francisco, gentle people with flowers in their hair. If you come to San Francisco, summertime will be a loving there. Be a loving baby, don't you go work it on, baby. Thank you.